let me back it up real quick. So, where did you meet Blue Boy at? What year and what prison you was at when you met Blue Boy?
Oh, me and Blue Boy, we was in Southport. He was right, he locked right next door to me. We was in Southport when I met Blue. Or Wendy. I was in 2 jails with him. We was in Wendy when Larry Davis, the kid that he accused of killing, we was on the Wendy together.
Oh.
I went home. You know, the dude that Blue killed, Larry, we was all in the same jail together.
Yeah, Blue Boy killed Larry Davis. The infamous Larry Davis from New York. He killed Larry Davis. So you was in the jail at the same time?
Yeah, me and Blue was together. You know, if you ask Blue who PhD is, he ain't gonna tell you he don't know me. That's my comrade. You know, he gonna tell you that. Yeah, that's my boy.
So let me ask you this real quick though, man. So can you be can you be a God body and a blood at the same time, or a God body and a Crip at the same time?
No, no.
It does. Okay.
Nah. Dudes do that. Dudes will try to do that, and what happens is, just the truth of the situation is, them dudes see the objective of the nation of God and earth ultimately is to teach love, peace, and happiness. Right now, when we say things like the Father ain't raised no punks, that's assuming that a motherfucker got enough sense to know that, brother, before I, became who I am now, I was doing other things. You know what I'm saying? And it's, gangster shit is in me. You know what I'm saying? So, like, it's a different wave for me, like, right now. You know what I'm saying? Like, like the Bible says, a child I thought as a child, I spoke as a child, and I understood as a child. But as a man, I've done away with childish things. You know, the difference between a young man and an adult is that the decisions that we make are based on morals and principles. You dig what I'm saying? Where younger people are more spontaneous. This is why Miles say Tongue wrote in the Little Red Book, the reactionary is to be penalized. You dig what I'm saying? And the bloods, the gods that become like Shockwell was God-Body, Big Iz was God-Body. They left that alone, and they pledged to that blood thing, so they don't come in the midst of gods. Like in jail, gods got courts and rallies. Them blood dudes have their own courts. They have their own situation. The court is like if you go to a park and you see 2 or 3 benches, that's a court in jail. In jail, if you see a certain section with 2 or 3 benches where people sit down, that's a court. And you have those maybe 15, 20 feet apart from each other. Like in Attica, the Auburn might have 6 or 7 courts on 1 yard. And Attica got 4 yards. Attica might have 4 or 5 courts in the yard. And you might have a Latin King court, you might have a blood court, you might have a Crip court, you might have a Muslim court, you might have a 5% court. If a 5%.
Hold on, bro. So the jail. So let me ask you this question before we move on. Who breaks it down into them courts? The inmates or do the guards break it down? How do y'all determine who court is who? Y'all did that?
Convicts established that. We established that. Convicts established that. It's established when me and you walk in there already. Like, me and you get arrested, and we end up going to prison in New York up top, and you come to the yard and you 5%, all right, come on, this is where, you blood, all right, this is where the homies meet over here on this court right here. You God-Body, all right, well, they go to God-Body court over there. Where you Latin King, all right, they go to Latin King court over there, and that's where you go and you meet with your people. And you let them know who you is, and you do whatever, whatever comes with the social etiquette in jail at that particular time, whatever they discussing or whatever's going on, that's where you meet your people at. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Let them know you in the building. You know what I mean? That's how that go in the prisons up north. Most prisons got courts. Every prison I went to, except for, yeah, might have been every max in the state of New York. Except
you been to every max? You been to Sing Sing too?
Yeah.
So the God-Body's got a court at every prison in New York State?
Pretty much. God-Body, we got classes now. See, the God-Body in New York, Nation had a student. Nation's student name was, I think it's Intelligence. Intel had put the 1983 civil suit in, and it went went to a federal judge, and the federal judge declared the Nation of God and Earth for 5% not a gang. It's not a gang. They used to take our literature because, you know, our literature come from the Nation of Islam, and the Nation of Islam literature said the white man is the devil. And because we don't have our literature from the Supreme Book of Wisdom that Farrakhan follows, it's just parts of it. You know, this thing, now we're getting into some deep waters right here. I'm explaining to you basically the tenets of the 5% Nation. It comes, Clarence Section 13 Smith was a part of the Nation of Islam. He left the Nation of Islam, and he took with him 120 lessons. 120 lessons consist of 1 to 10, 1 to 36, 1 to 14, 1 to 40, the actual facts and the soul law facts. And he added the supreme mathematics and the supreme alphabets, which is the language of the Nation of God and Earth. And with that, he established the Nation of God and Earth. I think it was in 1964. He said you can give it all Muslim names and Muslim attributes and pick names from the supreme mathematics and the supreme alphabets. You no longer call yourself the 5% Nation of Islam. You to call yourself the Nation of God and Earth. So in 1964, we became the Nation of God and Earth. And it's spread. It's in Georgia. It's all over. You got...
Okay. I hear that. Okay. Hey, listen, make sure you hit the like and subscribe button, man. It's easy one. Listen, check this out, though. So... I hear that about the God bodies and the 5%ers. And it seemed like y'all are about y'all about literature. And the Muslims are about literature. So how do you guys and the Muslims get along in prison? Ain't y'all on the same like, right?
What's it's different. They follow the Quran and we follow lessons. Right on. We teach that the black man is God. Muslims pray. Muslims bow down and pray. We teach that the black man is God. We teach that you and I are God.
Okay.
We teach that you and I are God. We teach lessons. Our lessons say we set up home and wait for a mysterious God. Emphatically not. Me and my people who have been lost from home 379 years and tried this so-called mystery God for bread, clothing, and a home, and received nothing but hunger-ness, nakedness, and outdoors, also beaten and killed by the one who advocated this God. No relief came to us till the Son of Man came to our aid by the name of our prophet, W.D. Fard. That's just one of the lessons in 120 lessons, but that's basically the ideology, the concept, that's the theology, if you will, of the Nation of God and Earth. Who's the original man? That's the knowledge of being the one to 10. The original man is the Asiatic black man that make it on the cream of the planet Earth, father of civilization, the God of the universe. That's the first degree. The second degree is who's the color man. The color man is the Caucasian white man, or Yaku's grafted devil with the planet Earth.
Okay.
Total population.
Let me bring it back a little bit. Okay, so how long have you been a 5%er for?
Since I was 14.
Okay, let me ask you this real quick, man. And don't take no offense to this, what I'm saying. When you first joined the 5%ers, were y'all more about literature or was y'all more about violence?
Nah, it's never really been about violence. It's always been about peace and happiness. It's always been about the 12 Jews in Islam. It's always been about 12 Jews. Knowledge, wisdom, understanding, freedom, justice, equality, food, clothing, shelter, love, peace, and happiness. Those are the 12 Jews in Islam. It's always been about that. Islam, I sincerely love Allah's mathematics. I self-Lord and master, I slam. You know, it's a bunch of them. It's a bunch of acronyms for Islam. So, you know, I can go on for days about the positive. We don't deal with negative. That's not, you know, who the 5% of the poor righteous is. It's a degree, the 16th degree of 140 is man. 140 is who the 5% of the poor part of the planet Earth. Answer: poor righteous teachers who do not believe in the teachings of the 10% who are all wise and righteous, who teach that the true and living God is the Son of Man, supreme being black man from Asia. That's that. You know,
okay.
We don't subscribe to robbing and stealing. We don't do none of that. You know, we don't tell lies. The 11th degree is.
Hey, listen, man, y'all hearing this thing firsthand. Hit that like and subscribe button, Florida Prison Talk. Y'all hearing this firsthand from the God-Body. Let me ask you this, man. Okay. Out of the time, you say, how long you say you spent in prison? 13 years?
Yeah.
Okay, in the percentage-wise.
Hold on, you got me on social media right now?
No, man, I ain't got you on no social media. I wouldn't do that.
Oh, okay.
I wouldn't do that, okay? But listen, I wouldn't do that, bro, okay?
All right.
Okay, keep on talking.
There's nothing wrong with that, but you got to tell me. You know what I'm saying?
Listen, okay, let me ask you this. So out of all the stuff you've been through in prison, what percentage would you say was for you being God-body, and what percentage would you say was an isolated incident as far as yourself go?
Oh, every time I went to jail, it was because I did something that was contrary to my teachings. You understand what I'm saying? It's not like my teachings don't tell me. My teacher, my educator told me, yo, man, putting a gun in the motherfucker's mouth is some desperado shit. That's some real dumb shit. Ain't no game behind that. If you're going to do a crime, at least think of a crime that's righteous. You know what I'm saying?
What's a gun?
No money. A pistol.
I'm talking about in New York State prison system, when you locked up, what's considered a gun?
A shank.
Okay.
A knife.
With that being said, bro, you home, right?
Yeah.
Is it a problem for you adjusting to being back home? How are you adjusting being back home? Do you have a problem with people out here in the civilian world? How are you around people?
I'm good money.
So you jump right back into the mix with no problem?
I mean, like, I'm saying, it's impossible, like, I'm gonna explain something to you. Back in the days, right? You know, you down south. Remember back in the days when people would come home from the war, and you ever heard the term shell shock?
Yes, sir.
Shell shock. Okay, cool. Now, you know, when you go places, things happen, and you see people get murdered and shit like that. It's no way to just forget that kind of shit. And nowadays, the shell shock is no longer called shell shock. It's PSD. You know, that post-traumatic stress syndrome. They got a name for it now, you know. So, like, when you go through prison and you're not around women and you know, you seeing dudes getting stabbed and cut and dudes walking by your cell looking at you trying to feel your temperature, what you about, and you know what I mean? And prison is based on drugs and violence, man.
Wow, man.
Prison is based on drugs. And it's sad because a lot of our brothers end up in there. You know what I'm saying? And some of our youth that's in the streets, like, what you doing? Like, they have a curiosity. And, you know, our people, we come from an origin of scientists. You know what I'm saying? Like, Ethiopia cultivated Egypt. You know what I'm saying? And, like, when we allowed them devils to come amongst us in Egypt and we taught them mathematics and we gave them religion and we gave them culture, and you think what I'm saying? We brought these crackers out of caves, and you know they took and used the reverse psychology. They used the laws of opposites when they got us in their grasp. They, instead of the love, they showed us the other side, the hatred, and it indoctrinated us with a fear of them. You know, that's why you got brothers that, man, you could be chopping it up and then the police will throw you on the ground and put your foot on the neck, and I'm pulling out a phone instead of trying to kick him off your back. Because I don't love you like my blood brother. You understand? But we not supposed to be like that. You understand what I'm saying to you, beloved?
Hey, I'm gonna tell you right now, man. This some viral ass shit you spitting. We not on live, but let me before we go even further, bro. You know I'm on YouTube. Your people put you on to me. My page is Florida Prison Talk. You already know, but I would like to post this video in the next day or two. But we are not live right now. Are you okay with that, or you not?
Yeah, you can do your thing with that. Yeah, you can do.
Okay, well, keep on talking. I want you to keep on talking. Listen, let me stop you for a second, though, man. Let me stop you for a second. So, being that you a God-body, a 5%er, and you know the Bloods is a black.
I would rather you catch me and we could just do it fresh if you want.
No, listen, all of this is good footage. I'm gonna let you know everything that's going on. I'm gonna cut everything out you want me to cut out. But right now, I need all of this footage right now while we on the phone right now. So let me ask you, because my brother right now is in New York State doing the 18 to life bid, and right now.
What's his name?
I can't tell you that on a thing right now. But
Okay.
he's Muslim. He's Muslim, and I guarantee you came across him.
Okay.
He has an 18 to life sentence. You know what I'm saying? He's on year 20. You know what I'm saying? And he's at a prison. And you know what? You know what's so crazy, man? My brother knows how to bid good. But it seems like it's at the point now where the bid is almost getting to my brother. You know what I'm saying?
It be like that, beloved.
It be like
It
that.
be like that because, you know, like, people die, and when you're in jail, you know, it's like a man don't want to rely on a woman. So a man will get up and go to work and come home, and, you know, my mother and father's from down south, so my mom's very seldom had pants on because my father was a provider and she was a stay-at-home mom. I was fortunate enough to have a mother and father. That's why I yearn to help the youth understand things that they reaching out. They really want to know. It's just nobody with a firm hand to tell them, like, listen, homie, you ain't got to do this and to validate yourself, bro. You can go to school and study engineering, motherfucker, and build the same bridge that Rockefeller and them niggas designed, motherfucker.
That's a fact.
You understand what I'm saying? It ain't, we doing the wrong thing with these dudes. It don't take no motherfucking courage to cut a motherfucker in the face or stick a knife in a motherfucker. You fucking kidding me? Are you fucking retarded?
That's right. Keep on talking, bro. Keep going.
Your own people, you dig what I'm saying? And black dudes got a habit of doing that shit to one another. And when the original Bloods, at least they was doing it to enemies, you know. And I'm not a racist guy. I just know how to look at things from an analytical war perspective.
That's a
like,
fact.
If I got an enemy that's Chinese, he's more of a threat than a motherfucker that's black because he can say something that I don't understand. You dig? Now, you can take that where you will and apply it to the black man in a New York prison. And I ain't talking about his war with Chinese people. You know, black men had wars with people that spoke more than one language. You know, which this blood thing started. And I got a lot of Dominicans and Puerto Rican comrades that I love, that I'll go to the grave with. Make no mistakes about that shit. I'll be the God. I bear witness to black, brown, red, and yellow. All is my brothers. The only devil I see is the devil, a white man. And that's from the cradle to the grave.
Okay, let me stop you real quick. Okay, you say that, so the only devil you see is the white man, right?
That's a fact.
Let me ask you this, man. How about the guards in the New York State Department of Corrections? How are the guards? Are they the devils in the white man?
It's a bunch of them, but the way I look at it, a pig is a pig. I don't give a fuck if he black or all that shit.
And listen, let me ask you this, man. How many have you ever been beat up by the guards?
Of course.
No, listen, bro. It's not no of course. That's not nothing you should say of course about. Why do you say of course? Because that's regular shit?
The lifestyle that I lived in prison wasn't always, you know, I wasn't really like upstanding or model inmate during the course of my bid. There were times when I had to stand for things like, you know, me and mathematics was in Auburn and he refused to lock in and the police told me to lock in and I was like, nah, I'm not doing that, yo, Math, you all right? He was like, yeah, all right, go ahead. And, you know, he went to the box and then the police came back to my cell and got me. They slapped me in the mouth with a stick, knocked my bottom teeth out.
You said, hold on. Back it up, bro. The police slap you in the mouth with a nightstick and knock your bottom teeth out?
Yeah, they handcuffed me.
We need to shed light on this. Listen, the police knock your bottom teeth out with the nightstick?
Yes, sir.
I'm so mad just hearing that. My platform is so big. Listen, bruh.
Bro, them crackers in Attica, they call A-Block, South Africa. And like, it's if you in the cell and I'm in the cell, I done been in there in the winter and I done seen them pull dudes out of the cell, spray them with cold water, open the windows, and come down the gallery and say, if any of you niggas get this motherfucker a blanket, you gonna get the same shit. And we talking 10, 15 below weather.
Oh my God. Listen, man. I'm so mad just hearing that shit, man. I'm so mad just hearing that shit. Cause my brother been in Attica a bunch of times. Listen, man. I'm so mad, bro.
You can ask the police whoop your ass in Attica if they catch you with a knife. You could be going. We could be enemies. Not be them. You could be done agreed to meet me in the yard, and we gonna go gun to gun. If they catch us with that knife on the way to the yard, we going to the box.
Well, let the people know what gun to gun mean in New York State Prison.
Knife to knife. Knife to knife.
So knife to knife. So listen, knife to knife. So when they say knife to knife, that mean that one guy got that knife and you got your knife and y'all just face off?
Pretty much.
Wow, bro. So listen, let me ask you this, man. Have you ever gave a dude a chance and tell him, go get your knife and let's go knife to knife, or do you get him when he least expect it?
Nah, see me, I'm not really into too much talking. You know what I mean? 9 times out of 10, if I got a problem with a dude, I'm addressing it. I'm not really one of them type of, you know, I don't knock dudes that do that. That's a real honorable thing to do. I tend to try to win all the time. So, you know, if a dude calls me 9 times out of 10, he know what he done did, and it's just a matter of him trying to figure out whether I'm gonna come at him or not. You know what I mean? So, you know, it depends. Like, I don't really take shorts. So, like, you know, if you violate, then, like, if I loan you cigarettes and you take 2 weeks, 3 weeks, all right, cigarettes ain't enough for me to stick my knife in you. I'm going to let you get that. You got that. You know what I'm saying? But, you know, it might be 3 cartons. You might come back and try to get, okay, now, you know, he owe me. I'm going to give it to him just to see if he's trying to feel my temperature. You know, pay them cigarettes in 2 weeks. I'm not giving him another week. I'm gunning him down on sight. You know. And
what effect does that have on you being home now? Like now you home now, bro. Let me ask you this: are you doing anything like that's not gonna lead you back to prison? Let me ask you that.
Well, I try not to. You know what I mean? I try to conform to all the rules. You know, I live in New York. It's a city where the big kids play. You know, it's not real easy. You know what I mean? To do your 1-2.
I'm not gonna let you get away with this, bro. Keep on talking. I'm not gonna let you get away with this. Keep on talking. Bro, listen, bro, listen, call me. You gotta call my phone, call my number. I'm not gonna let you get away with this. What you about to call my number, call my phone, and keep on.
We chop it up.
But no. We keep on talking then. Let me ask you this though. So people keep on saying that. I keep on asking people, was Attica the worst? So everybody keep on saying Attica is the worst as far as the guards go. Have you ever been beat up in Attica by the Attica guards?
I really didn't have too many. I was in C block. I was only in 1 block in Attica. C block was a recreation block, and you know I was doing my numbers. Like I didn't really have a.
What you mean by you was doing your numbers? What you mean by you was doing your numbers?
Getting money. Like my nephew that plugged me in with talking to you. Like his mom, she used to tell me like, yo, you sending a little bit too much money to the house. You know what I'm saying? Like I was really doing my thing. When my niece was born, I had to make sure she had some, you know, some things like jewelry and things of that nature. I was in jail. I was young though. I mean, I was like 19 when I was in Attica.
So you was from prison taking care of home?
Yeah, pretty much. I had to do that because I wasn't really relying on my people to do too much for me. I was just making my money in jail. I did what I did. I'm not saying that all 5%. That's not a thing that we supposed to do. I make no mistakes about it. I'm not glorifying the things that I did to make money in jail. That was the thing that I just had to do. Like I made sure my wife came to see me. You know what I mean?
All right. With that being said, though, bro, was it a constant? Like when you was locked up in the maxes, did you constantly have to watch your back all day, every day? Speak to the people that's listening. We're not on live right now, but speak to the people that's listening. But you constantly have to watch your back all day, even though you had your wife visiting. What kind of existence is that?
It depends on what you're doing. If you just doing your time, you know, like some dudes prey on the weak, some dudes prey on dudes for sex, some dudes prey on dudes for money. Me, I sold narcotics. You know what I'm saying? So like, I wasn't really too concerned about nobody preying on me. My concern was if you take my narcotics, make sure my money meets where it's supposed to be up time. That was my main thing. And, you know,
Okay.
That was it. So my thing wasn't really, I wasn't really concerned with what nobody do. You know, if somebody came to see me, it was about purchasing narcotics. And it's different, all the guns and knives, you can stop at the door. If you take my narcotics, you're gonna pay for my narcotics, or I'm gonna come for your ass. That's just how that go.
Damn.
So, I really didn't get into a lot of like people thinking that I was weak or no shit like that. Narcotics in jail. And I didn't hide behind selling narcotics. I was married 13 years. I didn't get a trailer to my 12th year, and I could have got a trailer the year after I got married. It was because I had to choose, you gonna let this nigga owe you money, and then everybody else gonna stop paying you, and tell your wife you ain't gonna make this trailer visit, you gotta straighten this nigga out, you know what I mean? And
so listen.
That's how that goes.
Okay.
So I had to sacrifice going on trailer visits and shit like that. I used to be in the box a lot, like I told you. That's how I met Blue.
That's what I'm saying. You met Blue Boy, right? Okay.
Southport, one of them jails.
Okay, talk about it.
Huh?
Talk about it. How you met Blue?
Oh no, I was not beside Blue. I think it was in Southport. Yeah, it was in Southport. I met Blue in the box. I just ended up next to him. And we just was shopping. Blue got a beautiful personality. When is
the first time you ever went gun to gun with a dude?
That never really happened to me. That never really happened to me. Nobody ever told me, yo, get your gun and meet me somewhere else and shit like that. I done got into fights where I had a knife and a dude that had a knife, then pulled the knife out, or some shit like that. Or either I jumped on a dude and he ended up pulling the knife out later on in the process of us fighting or something like that. But like me telling you that I don't do that. There are people that do that. I don't personally do that. During my whole bit, that never happened to me. I never told nobody to go get your knife or some shit like that because I'm not doing that. That's not my style.
So let me ask you this though. So dudes actually tell other dudes go get your gun and give them a chance to go get their gun and fight them?
Yeah, dudes do that. I personally never saw the logic in that.
Right. Hey, keep on speaking. Right. Keep on talking, bro.
That's what Sun Tzu said in the Art of War. That's the first thing. Excellent warfare is not having to go to war. So, I put it on a nigga real quick. And that'll be that. And then I put it on every time I sell open. However, I gotta put it on them until I'm out of that spot. And that's just how that go. I done had beef with whole gangs. Like, I had a beef with a gang and not no Bloods, no Crips, nothing like that. But I had a beef with a gang in Comstock. Them dudes ended up stabbing me while I was on the phone, but I was such a loose cannon that after I got out of Keep Lock, I came to their court looking for them, and my man pulled up on me. Salute Trigger Sean, he locked up, a big homie from Queens, and Sean Boy Blood dude. Like, yo, I got this. This is my thing, my dude. He like, yo, Rod, you ain't out here alone. But at the end of the day, none of them niggas is at the court. So he turned around and he started pointing at them. Yo, they over there, they over there, they over there, they over there, they over there. Why they ain't over here? Because the niggas know you mean business. But see, you gotta understand, it's common sense. It's easy for a motherfucker to say, yo, that's like the dude tell me, yo, go over there to Florida and stab him. I don't know you from a hole in the wall. But he got beef with you because you slapped him. So his heart ain't gonna be in it. My heart ain't gonna be in it as much as his heart. So when dudes, his heart wasn't in it. I was on the phone and this dude stabbed me in my chin with an ice pick. He could have stuck it in my eye, he could have stuck it in my temple, he could have stuck it in my neck, he could have murdered me. But he didn't because his heart wasn't in it. And that's what a lot of dudes don't realize when you send people to do your work. Ain't nobody gonna fight for Mama Boy like Mama Boy. You understand what I'm saying? So, and dudes get into these gangs and organizations their heart don't really be in it. Some of these dudes don't have life in prison. Some of these dudes don't really be wanting to hurt dudes. You might send this dude to somebody that he might know or like, but then there's a protocol. When you into this, you love him more than you love this, and then you got to deal with your brothers that's in the organization that you're trying to hurt you. And your order is to hurt somebody that you don't have a problem with or that you may like. You understand? Now, a man can identify with those realities because a man understands reality.
I'm gonna go this way.
Especially the police. The police is the worst in New York, man. I think they the worst in the mediums, because the mediums don't have no cameras. I was in 5 Points. When I was in 5 Points last year, I seen one of the homies cut a sergeant and the police in the face. It was amazing. Cut a sergeant, cut him in his face with a razor, and cut the police and was with him with a razor.
Wow.
And his cameras everywhere. So they beat him up, but they couldn't do it so much because it was cameras. And then when it happened, somebody had called his family, and his family was in the jail, so they couldn't kill him. They just moved to another jail. So he made it out of his line, and he cut a sergeant and a medical. Now, if that would have been in the medium security facility, they probably would have killed him because there's not a lot of cameras. And they can get you in blind spots. You know what I'm saying? There's behind the walls. There's really cameras in a lot of places.
Oh. Okay, with that, oh, damn, man. With all that being said, though, out of all the years you've been locked up, what was the worst place you was at?
The worst jail?
Yes. Yeah, bro. What's the worst jail you was at, bro?
I think probably Attica, probably because of the police. They attitude.
So not Auburn?
Auburn is definitely trash. Auburn is just like a dump. Auburn is like a filthy fucking spot. Auburn is like the worst. It's like when I was in Auburn, that was in like 92. It's a dumping ground. It's like the police don't really fuck with you too much in Auburn. Or you know, I like Attica, like Klansmen working it, like, but the police is like, they don't really fuck with you. Auburn is just like a filthy fucking jail. Auburn is like a real filthy fucking jail. It's like a real, like, nasty fucking jail, man. It's just like a nasty fucking jail. It's like a real fucked up fucking jail.
Okay.
You know, it's just like filthy. You know, like it's old. You know, the bricks sweat. You know what I mean? The cell, the bricks sweat. The fucking everything is gone. They got the big metal pipes on the wall. You know, for the heat.
And that's what's so crazy, bruh. How do you listen, man? How do y'all deal with that shit, man? Like, I'm saying, like, honestly, bro, like, I feel so, but like, my brother's going through that shit right now, and even though he's at a medium, I'm so mad. Like, so it's nobody that, are any of the guards good? Are all of the guards fucked up, or are there any good guards?
I'm keeping 100 with you, baby. Well, I ain't never fucked with the police like that. I don't fuck with them. I don't know whether they good. I mean, I see them all as pigs. I see them all as slum dogs. I don't fuck with them.
Got you. So no matter what, good if they all the work. Got you.
When we walking down the hallway and you decide to have a conversation with one of them motherfuckers, that's on you. You know what I mean? 9 times out of 10, I'm going to kind of disassociate myself with you a little bit because you fucking with the pig a little bit, and I just don't do that. I'm not saying that a man is a rat because they talk to police for whatever reasons. I'm not saying that. I'm just saying I personally don't fuck with the police at all. 9 times because I be doing dirt in jail, so you know what I mean? Like I told you what I was doing in jail, so you know, like I don't open the door for the police to say nothing. The police came to me my cell at 2 o'clock in the morning, and Elmira told me the next motherfucker that died in this jail.
That's a fact,
Other
man.
motherfucker might fight the power. Yeah, that's how it is.
Damn, bruh.
Yeah, that's how it is, bro.
Damn.
That's how it is. I'm a smooth dude. I'm a cool dude. I don't be like, you know what I mean? I have my little circle of friends and, you know, comrades and associates.
And that's what's my whole suspense is, that being that you God bodies, who do y'all go to war with? Like, do y'all go to war with Bloods, even though y'all all black?
We don't, the guards, you'll never really hear about, you know, 5% of God body really having beef like that, because not that we pull back to teachers. See, my job is to tell you, is to teach, is to unindoctrinate you. Like, Christianity, 35,000 years old, Buddhism, 551 years old. Let me show and prove to you this thing right here. Let me explain to you. Let's take Easter Falls here. It's a Christian. Let me explain to you how the equal vernon's got something to do with that. Let me explain to you the rabbit, the fuck-a-lot, the egg, the life after the fucking. Let me explain to you that this was a time where there was an orgy going on, and Paul, the letters to Corinthians, and the Bible. Let me connect all these dots for you and let you show you how these Europeans were living in Nicene Conference and the writing of the Bible. And let me explain to you what's going on here, so you won't assume that Easter got something to do with the resurrection of your prophet, man, because his anniversary should be his anniversary every year. Easter change every year. You know, my mama died, daddy died. That's their anniversary that same time. Next year, Easter don't rock like that. It's a different day all the time, and it doesn't represent just one day. It represents a few days. It's the changing of seasons. Where the Greeks used to have an orgy and get drunk and used to fuck and have sex and all that old crazy savage shit, and the black man just ended up accepting the fact that his prophet was resurrected on that day, you know. And that's what 5%ers do. My job is to teach you that truth. My job is to, you know, do that. You know, my job is to clarify what was misunderstood and given.
So what would you tell your listen, let me ask you this, okay, before we move on. How about people in your family? Would you tell them to be God bodies, your kids and stuff, or people in your family?
Of course. But they would have to desire that. Many shall come, but few shall be chosen. It's not that if you ask me to do that, I'm just going to automatically bless you with that. You might not be worthy of that. It's not an easy walk. You know, it takes time. You got to fast before you come to me with that. You got to not eat for a certain amount of days. You know, you got to study these degrees. You got to memorize the names that I'm going to give you, which is going to be based on your character. You know, and there's a doctrine. You have to study this doctrine. You have to live this doctrine. The 11th degree and the 1 of 40 is word is bond. Have you not heard that your word shall be bond regardless of whom or what? Yes, my word is bond, and bond is life. I shall give my life before my word shall fail. You got to live that out. You can't be running around telling a bunch of fucking lies. You know? So, you know, and my teaching methods is different. I curse when I teach and all kind of things, but I got a lot of students and a lot of women that bear witness because I teach this. You know what I'm saying? Like,
so you say you curse, so why do you curse though?
Why? It's a method. I use it as a method. I don't have to. I'm an Olympian in the field of elocutionary gymnastics. I don't have to curse at all. Profanity is not a must. I just choose to. Sometimes I found that you can keep a person's attention with emphasis that they're familiar with. And a lot of times, profanity is that bridge for me. But it's not cursing at a person. It's not adding negative to a positive. Mm-hmm. It's simply the energy for me that comes with that. But those are my teaching methods. I don't add anything to my lessons. If you ask me, what's a degree? I'll tell you the degree. There are no curses in my degrees. You know, that's like if you quote in the Bible, there's no cursing in it. Like, take for example,
Right.
But I've been successful. You know what I mean?
Right.
You know, I once heard that if you teach a man, you teach an individual. You teach a woman, you educate a nation. So I focus on sisters more than I do brothers. And it's not for sexual purposes. It's just for they close to the babies. You know what I'm saying? And when the babies come home from school, you rather your child come home from school and say, Daddy, I found out that Christopher Columbus was a slave trader. You know, I found 1555 is a relevant year for me, man. Could you tell me something about that? I'd rather my son come home and ask me as opposed to just believe his teacher at school. You dig what I'm saying?
Right.
And we as black people, we got a lot to work on. You know, I grew up in a home where my father put hands on me. And I read a book, Counter-Conspiracy to Destroy Black Boys. And in that book, it says you're supposed to make a child feel ashamed of his bad actions. You're not supposed to put your hands on him. And I agree with that. You understand what I'm saying? Because I grew up with a lot of anger and shit like that because, well, who was my keeper? Where are my brothers? Why my mother won't stop this nigga? Why my brothers won't stop this nigga? You know what I'm saying? From beating me and shit like that. You dig what I'm saying? That's not shit that I'm ashamed of. That shit that I know I can't beat children. And I'm grateful because of that, because that's a blessing in me to know that that is an abomination. You dig what I'm saying? But I look like hitting a kid, man, a child, man. You know what I mean? That's not, I don't do that. So, you know, I don't like people to do that around me. And I'll let them know that that is a very uncivilized act. If you know better, I'll tell you why you should know better. You dig?
For sure.
So, you know, yeah, that's not something. And we have to do that. God-body, we have to do that. We have to address things. We have to. We can't just watch a problem and not address it. The prescribed laws of Islam that said person has that ability that the civilized is held responsible for uncivilized and must be punished by the nation of Islam. That's in my lessons. I have to do that. I'm not held responsible for the civilized. I'm held responsible for the uncivilized.
Let me ask you one question.
Yes, sir.
Okay. A kid right now at the same age, about 16, 17, come to you right now because he need to make this left turn or this right turn to do what you was gonna do or what you've been doing or what you know now. What would you tell that kid?
I don't understand what you're asking me.
A kid that's coming to you from your background and he's headed to where you was, not where you are, but where you was. What, you know, a real street kid.
Right.
What advice would you give him?
First and foremost, man, like black people don't have a lot of money to send kids to school, but like we gotta realize that somebody saw a typewriter and a TV and put the two together and came out with a fucking computer. You know, creative thinking is a motherfucker. You dig? And we had universities for that. Historically, our people, you know, Ethiopians and Egyptians, you know, Kush, Kemet, you know, Kim, like, we come from a thinking people, man, and when they stole our language and they made us speak their bastard language, you know, we had an original language, you know, we were doing original things, man. First things, original means first. And like, you gotta teach the babies to reach for the stars, man. You know, you gotta teach them like engineering is important. It's a very important, it's an expensive thing in this country to send a child to school, like for medicine. Those are practices. Like law is a practice because it changes all the time. Medicine, doctors is a practice because it changes all the time. They both have dictionaries, those two fields, law and medicine. And you gotta tell black kids, yo, you want to be more than a brick mason. You want monitor truck.